All right, yo, what's up? First episode, Palutena's Army, episode 1. I'm Adrian. Yo, you want to introduce yourself, Vane?
Yeah, Vane Zeiler, real name's David, but no one ever calls me by my real name, not even my family, so...
Wait, they don't?
No,
What?
everyone always calls me by some form of nickname. I've never in my entire life been called by my real name.
Huh. What do they call you? Is it Dave or something, or no?
DJ or some other, little pet nickname they'll have for me.
All right. Anyway, so this is going to be a rough episode. This is the first run-through of what we're doing, so I'm saying that if I post this up, we're extremely happy that we got through this, because my internet sucks, so... we'll see how that goes.
I have a competent computer.
Huh? Yeah.
I said I just don't have a competent computer.
Yeah, we're both in a pretty bad situation here. But we'll see how this goes. We're probably going to repeat the same articles about 40 times over, so whatever. Do you want to give an introduction to how you do stuff and what you do on the website?
Yeah, I'm primarily the PlayStation editor over at Final Smash. Turnaround, been playing video games for a long time, but whatchamacallit there. Turn around, and I'm not even sure how to go about this, actually.
How did you get your start into writing?
How did I get my start in writing?
Into writing, for games.
For games, primarily started off when I was doing reviews over on YouTube. You and Samuel Tageek, another buddy of ours, had approached me about starting up writing game reviews for another website that I was previously at. And after writing for there about a year, I ended up coming over to work for Final Smash.
Exactly. And anything in the pipeline for what you're doing here?
Got a few reviews in the works. I'll have a bit of a retro review, trying to keep that a surprise. I have an article coming out that, you know that big error that most PlayStation 3 users have, the big one that seems to either indicate that their PS3 disk drive is dying or some form of problem with their PS3? I've been doing a lot of research on that more lately, because that's one of my most commented on videos on YouTube is my solutions for that. And so pretty much the article I'm working on is sort of the conglomerate of all my research into the issue.
Yeah. Huh.
So hopefully I'll have that finally posted up tonight.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, and I'm Adrian. I started up the website. It's almost been a year, actually, that this website's been up, which is really weird. So I do most everything on there. Everything from reviews to news to... I've been recently... a guy on our site, Rob, he's the one that helps design basically every other iteration of the website. And but I've been designing this last run through to see if I can get myself a way through coding. But no, I've been doing reviews since the very towards the beginning of 2009, and I decided to do them independently now, and it's going pretty all right. You could find me in particular. I also do articles on GamingIrresponsibly.com. I posted a few feature articles on my website, but I figured I wanted to break out and go on to other websites and do that. So if you want to see my stuff, it's there. I don't even know how many listeners. We're probably going to have one listener here. So, one guy listening. There you go.
That's right.
Free plug. Anyway, I guess I want to talk about the website. It's pretty janky right now. I don't know what I want to do with it exactly right now.
So far, I'm definitely digging the redesign of it.
Yeah, I was aiming to make it less bloggy for a long time, and I think we're getting there, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I mean, we're slowly but steadily getting to an actual website rather than just a blog like we've had every other iteration.
At least it's still easy to go through, unlike Kotaku.
Yeah, I would not want Kotaku, but not a bad website. But I don't.
No problems with the website, but goddamn, their redesign was
the design
horrible.
is really bad. I liked it when I liked it when it's just a basic blog style. Like it's easier for me to check out all the news and not have to click through frames like it was 1998 or something. But no, I guess me and Vane we're aiming to do some spring cleaning on the website, since there's some articles that are on the front page that their images don't spread around easily. And
Yeah, I don't entirely get that.
we
But
need to. I want to figure out a way to make the slideshow less. It stretches out the image hardcore. So I need to figure out a way to make it more square and less rectangle. So we'll figure that out. You want to talk about what you've been doing on the website recently?
Sure. Well, we've actually had quite a bit of stuff going up on and off lately. We've turned around and had reviews on Killzone 3. You've had reviews on, what was that game?
I recently did the Dishwasher, Vampire Smile.
Dishwasher.
Do you want to talk about Killzone 3 for you, or?
I can talk a little bit about it.
All right, well, sorry for cutting you off. If you want to go ahead and continue about what we had.
I don't know, I just lost my train of thought. Pretty much we've just been doing what we've always been doing, put out reviews.
Yeah, we are slow because the website is very, like, whenever we can do it, we will do it. I'm looking to change that. I mean, I would love to have more scheduled stuff, but it's just so hard for all of us to do anything. Like, this is all our spare time, and whenever we can do it, we will.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead about talk about Killzone 3. It's an old game, but let's get your thoughts out anyway.
Yeah, it's a little old, but sadly I didn't get around to the game as fast as I wanted to. But no, Killzone 3, I gave it a fairly high score, a B-. But that's because it's technically not a bad game. And that's only because it's the same exact game as Killzone 2. They didn't really change too much up. In fact, they took out quite a bit of things.
Now,
primarily in the single player.
Okay, so I am the biggest advocate against Killzone 2. But for whatever reason, I played Killzone 3 at PAX last year, and I really liked it. Is there a reason, like, did they change something up majorly in it, or, like...
Majorly?
Because I don't know what it was. Like, I hated Killzone 2. I thought it was bad, but I didn't mind Killzone 3 nearly as much as Killzone 2.
The only real major changes they've made, in terms of single player, they actually just took out, like, all the side quests and all the little fluff stuff. That's all gone. In terms of multiplayer, they added stuff. There's different little mechs now you can ride around in and fight with. They turn around and added jetpacks that are actually ultimately useless. They don't really do anything for you. They rebalanced the classes a bit, gave everyone kind of new powers. It's not, like I said before, it's not like it's a bad game. It's just, for most part, it's still the same game.
Yeah, that's kind of weird that jetpacks aren't that big of a deal. And Halo Reach, that's basically the biggest game changer imaginable.
See, what it is they're limited to certain maps.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that's how they do that in Halo.
No, you could jetpack in whatever map, I guess.
Okay, yeah, no. In Killzone 3, there's only certain maps you can actually find them in. And then, no. And the maps that they're in, they're big and open, but at the same time, there's like a smorgasbord of buildings everywhere. So it's like, yeah, you'll have your certain areas where you can actually fly around and get advantage with it, and then other areas where you'll just be hitting buildings nonstop.
Huh. Well, that's weird. No, but I mean, maybe I'll try it when I get a PS3 someday. We'll see.
Right. Everything's always worth at least a try.
Yeah, exactly. I hear it's a rental, but anyway. What other games have you reviewed? Was that your latest review?
No, my latest one was my
Free Realms.
Free Realms.
Yeah. How was that? Explain that a little bit. Because I just know it's an MMO on the PS3.
That is. Free Realms was originally a PC game by Sony that was released 2009, if memory serves right. Then they finally got around to putting it on the PS3. It's a cute little game. It's sort of, they're really going for like that for all ages kind of thing, where everyone has their true shake at having fun. It's really hard to pin down just kind of what MMO it is, because it encompasses so many different genres of gameplay. There's racing games in it. There's an actual RPG aspect to it. There's fucking Bejeweled in it, which, whatever, but
yeah,
it offers quite a lot of content for free players. And this is one thing that in my review I kind of pointed out that I really liked about it, is their payment model. What Free Realms allows you to do is either you can play for free, which is what I do, and you can pretty much get a good taste of what the game is, but they'll limit you to certain things. Like, you can't really customize your character too much, or there's certain games and areas you can't access unless you pay. And then when it comes to paying, there's two different models. Either you can use the monthly fee model, which I actually prefer to think of as the continuously support the developer model. And I'll explain why in a second here. But basically, like you expect with any MMO, you pay your monthly fee. It's very cheap though, only $5 a month, and even cheaper if you get a more monthly plan tied into it. Like, you can save $1 or $2.
Yeah.
And then there's the other option, which is I just want the content. I don't care about supporting the developers that much. It's a one-time fee, $40, lifetime access to all the content forever and always, so long as the game is up.
Oh, so that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
That's cheaper than buying an actual retail game.
Yeah, I would probably just go that route. No, that sounds cool, and there's a lot of mixed reviews on that. So I mean, you're on the higher side though.
Oh, I'm definitely on the higher side. I mean, me personally, I don't play it as much as I did at launch, but I just have like this innate problem with MMOs where I get bored of them easily. So
yeah,
it's more of a personal thing than any problem with the game itself.
Yeah, well, it's mixed reviews, so I mean, some people like it, some people don't. It's not necessarily off though. All right, so what other games have I reviewed? Dishwasher Vampire Smile.
How was that?
Now, I played Dead Samurai back when we were in the Freeze Cracker era, and that was not that great. It was cool at first. It was like, oh, this is pretty cool art style. It's a decent game, but that game gets pretty hard, and it just doesn't really reward you to keep going on. It's like I got a few, like, I don't know how many levels in I got. But I even tried playing it after I played a little bit of Vampire Smile. I was like, huh, I kind of want to go try that game again. No, it's not that great. I mean, I might go back and try to finish it, but it doesn't give you enough incentive, or it's not interesting enough to keep you going. Now, the guy James Silva at Scott Studios, he's a great guy. He made ZP2KX, which is my favorite indie game. I reviewed that too. Gave that an A+. But he did games like I made a game with zombies, and I mean I was waiting for, like, I hear, oh, there's another sequel to Dishwasher. I wasn't really enticed. I was like, all right, well, if it's the same thing as before, then I probably won't be interested. But that's weird, because this game, he fixed it all. Like, it's a lot smoother, the game looks a lot better, and it gives you an awesome story from the get-go. Like right off the bat, you play. There's two different campaigns in the game. You play as Yuki, who is the dishwasher's demented stepsister. That you kill Yuki as a dishwasher at the very beginning. That's not a spoiler. That's the first 10 seconds of the game. Is you kill Yuki, and you start off her game. She's like mentally insane. She keeps having these like weird like cuts where you like she's in like a bloody hospital room where she's like crawling around everywhere. It's neat. So, I mean, it entices you right off the bat, like, all right, well, I'll keep going. And it's fun. I played through the game already like 5-6 times. Like, I rolled through. I put up a achievement guide for all the 30 ghost beats, which are pretty cool. Once you find them all and start messing around with them, they also give you some more replay value. I got a review of Mayhem 3D coming up soon, so I have 3D glasses right now with me. So I got the 3D beat, and I started playing with that a little bit. It was neat to see. That game, it's genuinely a jam-packed XBLA game. It's $10 too. So if you're on XBLA, go buy it. It's a really good game, and you'll love it for sure. The only problem is that it gets repetitive, and if you're not the type to change things up, you won't see anything in it. But it's a good game.
All right then.
All right. What else do we have on the website? I mean,
we got a bunch of articles up.
Yeah.
We got quite a lot of articles up, actually.
All right, so you made one about Completionist. Do you want to talk about that really quick? Just give a quick lowdown on it?
Go over that.
Yeah.
This was spawned because this was an idea I'd wanted to kind of write about for a little while. And then when you posted up your article on, achievements and how they've really affected gaming, that's when I finally decided, all right, I'll get my butt in gear and start writing.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, a lot of time when we talk about the stereotype of gamers, we always these days come to, the hardcore versus the casual gamer. We don't really explore any other avenues of mindsets of gamers. And so I want to talk about the completionists. Now, the thing is, completionists often get lumped in with the hardcore, but it's not entirely accurate. A completionist cares I don't want to generalize here, but generally speaking, the completionist is more about the experience and completely just like destroying the experience.
So
to put.
I'm gonna. I've changed up my gaming style ever since I became a reviewer of some sorts and doing all that. You change your gaming lifestyle significantly.
Yes.
You instead of playing games on your free time and doing whatever you want, that you're under a state of urgency to find whatever's wrong with the not necessarily nitpicking at it, but you need to find like, all right, as in some other games, if you were not a reviewer, you go through a glitch. Oh, okay, whatever. If you're a Fallout fan, you reset the game. You're back. You reset the game and you're back on your toes to play the game again. When you're a reviewer, you tend to ache over that a lot more since you have to write about that and you have to point out all these. So when I started doing that, that's how I became. I started to drop my games once I was finished with them, and I would go on to the next game. And then towards the end of the year, I mean, I finally completed Halo 3 in November. I finished a few Pac-Mans. Then I was like, all right. And then I got Bejeweled 3 to review. And for whatever reason, I just wanted to complete that game. Like, I was like 98%, and I was like, hey, I'm going to get that last 2%. And then for whatever reason, I was like, hey, I'm going to go through my old games and complete whatever I can. And I went from about 10 completions on my Xbox to about 35 now. So I'm generally knocking all that out. And the thing about completion is you're not necessarily losing the experience. You're finding you see the game in a different way. You see the game as these developers build this wall for you. Hey, this is everything you can do in the game. Do it. So that's what you get out of the game. You don't get like some people get their gaming fix from completing the game and that's it. But I mean, completionists, they want to tear down everything the game has.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of the difference there. There's a few different types of gamers, but completionists are like the complete opposite of reviewers, and that's kind of what I wanted to change this year.
Yeah, that's another reason why I want to, because, like you, being a game reviewer has really kind of changed my pacing in the way I game, too. Before I would actually just, sit there and take my time with the game, whereas now I kind of sort of try and rush through it as best I can so I can get to a point where I can say, all right, well, the game's completed. Now I just go through and do a sweep up and see if there's anything, glitch related or anything that could take away from the game's experience. Whereas before, like back in the day with RPGs, you would spend at least a good 60, 70 hours on an RPG. Now I find myself flying through most of them at 30 hours at most.
Yeah. No, so I was gonna say, what was I gonna say right now? No, so when it does a lot for urgency because it's not even that you're trying to meet your quota. It's more like you got competition in your reviews. If you're not the first out there, you're lost. There's only a few exceptions to this. I mean, I do my reviews and I take a lot of time on my reviews because I tried. There's some games that I try to get on embargo. Vampire Smile was one where I posted that review the minute embargo broke. Same with the Halo Reach Defiant maps. But there's some games I spend weeks and weeks on, but that's just because I don't feel like I want to rush through that game. Because there's some games that you just cannot rush through, and I feel like those games are more pick up and play, so I try to genuinely do that. So, I mean, that's why you get reviews that come out super late for me. Take it or not if you want to, but I mean, that's just how it is. I find like I can truly review that game if I don't rush through that game. But it's complicated. There's a lot of layers to reviewing. I mean, not to sound pompous. I mean, we're still very amateur in how we do stuff, but you can see the outlook once you start it.
Yeah, not to mention it's a growing experience too. Once you really get into your groove there.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
don't really know what you're doing, to be fair.
Exactly. So, what else was that it? The Completionist. We had a few reviews, right?
You actually put up quite a few there. The Fanboy is not as bad as you think. And the value of a score.
The value of a score. Okay, so I'm planning on putting up a review rubric for our website, and I was going to post that on the review page soon. I need to update that too. But the rubric is here. Let me give it a quick lowdown if you don't understand. So obviously we have the grade scale A, B, C, D, F. A is great. Obviously, it's AAA. That's the top, the cream of the crop there. B, you got your games that aren't exactly there, but they're good games. They're great games. C is average. You know, the game's good. D, I would say that's a mix. D is like really like you'll play through it if you can, but it's still not perfect in any sense. And this is what I see about games that fail. I mean, how often is it that you see a review that is a 2, a 3, or 4, and you go, oh, that game got a 3. All right, well, I'll try it. Or, oh man, that game got a 4. Oh well. Like the second games get like 5 and below, gamers shrug them off. Yeah. Unless you're already invested into whatever franchise or game that is, you're gonna shrug that off. So, an F isn't necessarily the game is broken. The game can be perfectly playable, but I shouldn't say that. The game can be kind of broken, but if it's failed, that means in my terms it got 5 or below. And 5 or below in my scale is not average. I'd say 7 is about average. I would say 6 maybe average. 7's good, yeah. But once it gets below average, it's not that great. Like, it's not worth checking out. If you really want to see, if you're really interested in the game, then just read the review at that point or watch their video review. Because it is not worth checking out. And that's what I'm going off of. And I wanted to make an article specifying that there's so much weight on this. See, this is what I'm talking, is that I just went through about, like, a few minutes, like, ranting off about this, even on the article. But, I mean, otherwise I can just put my words out and you can determine, hey, this game sounds like a B. This game sounds like an A. This game sounds like a D. All right, you can determine that all you want. But the thing is that gamers don't genuinely have the time to spend reading about reviews and all that. And that's kind of the bummer, is that I know some reviewers spend a lot of time actually deciding on a review score rather than they antagonize over their own score, because it's basically that's the first thing people are going to see about your review. I mean, that number alone is going to either turn away readers right off the bat or make your article worth reading, which is the sad thing, because I mean, it shouldn't be like that, but I mean, that's how it is, and I understand it's not going away, and I wouldn't take it away because it's essential.
Right.
But that's how it is. Yeah. All right, so that's about it then. Is there some... Okay, so quick note. This is probably not going to be the format. Our format is going to run like this. We're going to... Me and Vane are going to pretty much be on every episode, I imagine.
I hope so.
As much as we can. And what we're going to work on is having a guest rotating in. It might be a guest that's a friend of ours. It might be a guest that is a developer. I don't know. I'm going to work my magic and see what I can do here. I have a few of my indie friends that I've made over Twitter joining us. So, and I have a few topics I want to talk to them about. So it'll be neat. But I'm not sure. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, so I'm not sure exactly what the rail of this podcast is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be like the stereotypical, not stereotypical, but more casual. All right, so what are you playing? All right, here's our news, and then just go off reader emails. I'll see what I can do to spice it up. This is more of a test podcast rather than a actual podcast, if anything. But yeah, let's keep it that way, I guess, for now, and we'll see how we go. It'll take a few podcasts to finally get into the groove of this, and we'll see. News that came out, though, is Battlefield 3 is taking on Modern Warfare 3 like head on. What do you think? Aren't you? You're a Battlefield fan, huh?
Oh, I've been a Battlefield fan since the beginning on PC. Now, I'll openly admit I'm not a big shooter guy. I've never really cared for the shooting genre. It just never clicked with me. But the Battlefield series has always been an oddity in my interests. And to see Battlefield 3 and all the developments they're going with it, I'm very intrigued, because not only is it going head-to-head with Modern Warfare 3, as you said, but they've also been doing a lot to change up the Battlefield series as a whole. Battlefield 3 will be the first game in the main entry to actually have a single-player campaign. Because Bad Companies 1 and 2 were meant to just be, well, Bad Company 1 specifically, I should say, was meant to just be an old little side game for console players.
Yeah.
And to see it actually explode like it did, and to have it really affect the main series like it has, I'm just really intrigued.
Yeah. So, I feel like this is neat because every shooter out there is trying to take down Modern Warfare, but none of them are really vocal about it. Wouldn't you say? Because I feel like they just kind of insinuate, here's a shooter, here it is, we'll buy our shooter, guys. But
yes and no. Not to interrupt.
No, I'd go for it.
Sorry. But no, that's one thing that I will say that EA and DICE have actually done is actually vocally poke fun at other shooting games. Like, I remember when the first Bad Company game launched, all those little spoofs they did of Metal Gear Solid and Gears of War.
No, okay, so no doubt they definitely do poke fun at them, but I'm saying like vocally, like we're taking them down. That's it.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, no. Bad Company always has throwbacks to other games. The Mad World commercial from Gears of War is one, but they are like vocally saying, all right, we're making Battlefield 3 to take down Modern Warfare 3. And I feel like this is the kick in the groin that Activision's going to need to really shape up their Call of Duty franchise, because I'm personally not a Call of Duty fan in any retrospect. I never really enjoyed the game even prior to Call of Duty 4. So, I mean, if the game just does not seem interesting and I play it, it's a Twitch shooter. That's all it is. If they spice it up, maybe. I mean, that's what they're sounding with. The way Modern Warfare 3 is sounding with the multi like a bunch of different developers working on it. What was it? I think it's the Dead Space 2 guys are working on the multiplayer. No, they're working on the single player, I think. And Raven is working on the multiplayer, right?
If I remember correctly, yes.
It's something like that. I might be wrong, but that seems interesting, but that's either going to be a hit or miss, I feel. So, I mean, I'm hoping they work that out. But regardless, I feel like Battlefield 3 is a perfect contender for that game. Because
no doubt.
Battlefield 3 is looking pretty spectacular. And I've never been into Battlefield until 1943 when I got it with a bunch of friends, and that was fun. I got Battlefield or Bad Company 2 on a whim because I had a bunch of friends playing that, and I love both of those games. Like, those are both great games. So I'm excited to see Battlefield 3. I'm hoping that the console is remotely in the vicinity of the PC version, because the PC version looks fantastic.
That's the thing, is they're saying that
they're already saying that the console version is dumbed down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little dumbed down, and not only that, but it won't have as big as a multiplayer aspect to it. PC gamers will have up to 64, but consoles are still limited to 32.
Oh wait, they have 32?
Yep.
Okay, because Bad Company 2 is 16.
Yeah, well, it's still going up, but
Okay.
at the same time, whereas PCs getting 64 were being kind of limited down.
Yeah.
And I understand their reasoning is, they have to buy the extra server space on the consoles and whatnot. But at the same time, it still always sucks being the one getting shafted.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just say a quick tangent. I have a article in the works. Maybe it'll be released not this weekend, but next weekend. It'll kind of address my issues with the EA and their servers, but sorry about that. That's a quick plug. But no, I mean, 16 that's actually a big hike up. I don't know many games that do 32 multiplayer modes on console. So that's not bad. It's better than 16. I'm looking forward to it, though. Anyway, Mortal Kombat. You are excited for this, aren't you?
Oh, I am so kind of excited.
Kind of excited.
Scrounge up the money to straight out buy it. I don't care. I will sell some games to fucking get that.
Yeah, my Mortal Kombat shirt's still my favorite shirt from PAX. I love that thing. But it's looking to be like an actual contender in the fighting game genre, isn't it? Like,
that it is.
Like, I know Street Fighter communities are like genuinely looking at this game like, huh, that's interesting.
See, the thing with Mortal Kombat is back on the arcades, it was, one of the top dogs. Everyone always wanted to see like some kind of not Marvel, but Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat type deal going on. Even Ed Boon has admitted he wanted to do this idea at one point.
Yeah.
But then again, Ed Boon's a crazy guy. He thinks every fighting game should have a crossover. But
well, it's true. I mean, I can safely say I am extremely excited for both Street Fighter Cross Tekken and Tekken Cross Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
I love Tekken, and I'm down for Street Fighter, so that I'm fine with that. But
see, I'll openly admit right now, I don't care for Street Fighter at all. I'll play
them's fighting words, man. A lot of people fight you for that.
I just never got into the whole. There's 11 characters that share the same moveset.
Isn't wait? So that's what Mortal Kombat is, boy.
With some of them, yes, I can say
that. And that totally doesn't happen in Street Fighter. They got pretty differentiating moves now. Did you play Super Street Fighter 4?
Yes, I did.
What the fuck?
Jury is so much fun to use.
No, so I mean, I could see what you're saying, but that's Street Fighter, man. Street Fighter literally had this, or not Street Fighter. That's Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat literally had the same moves.
Mortal Kombat was some of the games had, but yeah, I see your point, and I'm just poking fun for most part. But no, the characters never really interested me. As odd of an excuse as this sounds, the story never interested me.
Oh no, I can.
Plays a fighting game for story, but
yeah, no. I mean, the only story I can imagine people being interested in is Marvel vs. Capcom. But no, Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat aren't exactly their. I personally, I'm sure you agree, are not their strong points.
Actually, Mortal Kombat's very story rich.
Oh, it's story rich, but I personally don't find too much interest in it. I mean, it's cool. It was cool seeing the Armageddon intro with everyone fighting and everything, but it's not like that. That personally didn't entice me to ever buy the game.
Armageddon, that was just such a mixed bag of emotions.
That game looked cool though when it was coming out.
It looked cool, and they did a lot of fun things with it. This is part of the tangent I was about to go on there before we got into the whole Street Fighter sucks debate.
Yeah, go for it.
But the thing is, with Mortal Kombat, is back in the original arcade days, like I was saying, they were definitely one of the top dogs. And that was because gameplay was extremely fast. The characters varied drastically from one another in terms of visual style and to some degree play style. You had your teleporters, you had your fireballers, fly across the screen and do all kinds of crazy shit kind of guys. And as it really evolved, it continued to expand the roster, expand the story. But once they left arcades, they slowed everything down. I won't say the problem was them going to 3D, because Mortal Kombat 4 was 3D, and that was still a fast-paced game. But when they actually went to consoles, it seems like they took a far more realistic, I suppose you can say, approach to the fighting. Every character had different fighting styles, and it was all cool shit at the time, but you had a much slower gameplay, and sort of the tension of the fights just kind of went away from there. And I think that's what a lot of problem people had with Mortal Kombat was that it just wasn't fast anymore. It wasn't like your Street Fighters or your Guilty Gear. Any sense of tension and speed was just completely gone. And that's what I think a lot of people are starting to get hyped about the new Mortal Kombat 4 is because they're like, all right, all this cool shit that we thought was just there to change things up is gone. We're going back to basics. Everything is much more fast-paced, action-y, and I think also maybe another reason why people are getting more into it is the inclusion of super moves. Again, this is something that's always kind of been in fighting games, but at the same time, not really incorporated into Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat has always kind of stayed away from, okay, I've charged up my Ultra Bar, now I can do the super combo, but I don't know, I'm kind of digging it, kind of not. It feels out of place, I'll admit. Like, pretty much like the X-ray attacks and stuff. They're cool to watch, but at the same time, it's kind of annoying when your opponent starts off the match by hitting you with that, and now you're at half health, wondering what the fuck to do.
Yeah. No. Well, we'll see. I guess that there's games that are. I'd say shooting and fighting games are big contenders in this, but you need those games are generally hard to figure out right off the bat. You need to see how the community plays them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's going back 2D also. I'm sure that's a big thing in people's eyes.
Oh, I'm loving it so much.
Yeah, that looks cool. I'm pretty excited for it. I hope I get to try it sometime. All right. So, was there anything else we really want to talk about?
I'm good for now. Is there anything you wanted to really cover real quick?
I'm not sure. I mean, again, this is a test podcast. Sorry if it was kind of weird. I mean, I'm like eyes on GarageBand right now, hoping that this doesn't crash or that Skype doesn't close out.
I haven't been to bed in like 3 days, so I'm a little loopy at the moment, I'll admit.
It's all good. All right. So, I mean, besides getting stuff like a theme song and everything fixed up, I mean, I might just be ending this with a song that of my choice or whatever. But I guess that's it.
All right.
So,
Cool.
this one's the first one in the books. Let's hope it doesn't come out too bad. All right. So, thank you for joining us. See you later.
Have a good one.